When developing our game, You Will Not Survive, we're looking at creating a balance within our upgrade system by using both mechanical and numerical values. A mechanical upgrade or item will affect how an item or weapon acts within the game. An item that's a numeric upgrade will increase a value like damage or weapon speed. So the difference is numeric changes, the little numbers and how much damage a weapon does. It's not very dynamic, still useful. And then a mechanical upgrade is much more extravagant. It changes how a weapon actually acts within the game state. This takes a lot more work. The weapon itself, and not only its animation, its sound design, everything needs to change to accommodate that mechanical change. Where a numeric value, all you're really doing is changing a number within the code that makes the weapon stronger or faster or larger. For an example of this, we'll take a starting weapon within You Will Not Survive. It's called Uria's Gift. Uria's Gift allows the player to launch a fireball at range and damage a target from afar. Now, while you upgrade this weapon, you'll be able to increase the base numerical values of the weapon. So that's its base damage, how fast the weapon fires. These all make the weapon stronger, right? What if we also change things about the weapon fundamentally? So when we're looking at this specific weapon, what can we do? What can the fireball do in the game that makes it more dynamic and changes how it interacts with the game space and the enemies and the items and everything else going on? So what we're doing is we're going to have a status effect system in the game. So the fireballs that you're shooting out can also burn enemies, leaving a DOT effect. This makes the weapon more dynamic and creates different scenarios where other upgrades can come in and increase that damage. We're also making it so when these fireballs hit enemies, they will explode on contact. This is another mechanical change because the weapon itself within the game is changing mechanically how it works. Now you're shooting a fireball that can explode and ignite a group of enemies to where the original weapon would just be a single target. You can also play with other aspects of the weapon. Maybe the fireballs start to home on targets, so it acts as a sort of aim assist, but it also changes how the fireballs are acting. You can also change the number of fireballs that are being fired simultaneously. Then you can end up with a system where as you upgrade this one weapon, it can go from a straight line, one single fireball that just goes through an enemy to multiple fireballs that home in on enemies, explode, and light enemies on fire for a DOT effect. That creates a much more dynamic weapon and item within the game state. There's also more values to play around with when it comes to bringing passive items that interact with that weapon. It kind of just coalesces in like one big experiment that the player gets to see every time they play, because you don't know what you're going to get. So each run starts to feel more dynamic and better to play every time. And that's the key to making a great roguelite.